23. Skidoo. What man is at ease in his inn? Get out. Wide is the world and cold. Get out. Thou hast become an initiate. Get out. But thou canst not get out by the way thou camest in. The way out is the way. Get out. For out is love and wisdom and power. Get out. If thou hast tea already, first get you tea, then get O, and so at last get out.
With the brandy came Tarantella Serpentine. She was an amazingly tall woman, at least 6'2", with long blonde hair that was piled high on her head and fell below her shoulders. She was wearing tinkling gold bracelets around her wrists and ankles, and there were diaphanous veils wrapped around her slender body, and nothing else. George could see pink nipples and dark crotch hair. When she strode through the door, Banana-Nosed Maldonado wiped his mouth with his napkin and began applauding gleefully. Robert Putney Drake smiled proudly, and Richard Young swallowed hard. George just stared.
The star of our little rural retreat,
said Drake by way of introduction.
May I present Miss Tarantella Serpentine.
Maldonado's applause continued, and George wondered if he should join in. Music, oriental but with a touch of rock, flooded the room. The sound reproduction equipment was excellent, nigh perfect. Tarantella Serpentine began to dance. It was a strange, hybrid sort of dance, a synthesis of belly dancing, go-go and modern ballet. George licked his lips. He felt his face get warm, and his penis begin to throb and swell as he watched. Tarantella Serpentine's dance was even more sensuous than the dance Stella Maris had done when he was being initiated into the Discordian movement. After she had done 3 dances, Tarantella bowed and left.
You must be tired, George,
said Drake, resting his hand on George's shoulder. Suddenly, George realised he had been going on almost no sleep, except for the times he dozed off in the car on the way from Mad Dog to the Gulf. He had been under incredible physical and, even more important, emotional pressure. He agreed that he was tired, and praying that he would not be murdered in his sleep, he let Drake lead him to a bedroom. The bed was an enormous 4-poster with a cloth of gold canopy. Naked, George slid between cool, crisp sheets, and clutching the top sheet around his neck, lay flat on his back, shut his eyes tight and sighed. That morning he had been on a beach in the Gulf of Mexico, watching naked Mavis masturbate. He had fucked an apple. He'd been to Atlantis. And now he was lying on a downy soft mattress in the home of the chief of all organised crime in America. If he closed his eyes, he might find himself back in the Mad Dog jail. He shook his head. There was nothing to fear. He heard the bedroom door open. There was nothing to fear. To prove it, he kept his eyes closed. He heard a board squeak. Squeaky boards in this place? Sure, to warn the sleeper that there was someone sneaking up on him. He opened his eyes. Tarantella Serpentine was groping motion, told him that Tarantella was gone. Instead, Mavis, in a white doctor's smock, stood at the foot of the bed, watching him with large, bright eyes. The darkened Drake bedroom had turned into a hospital ward and was suddenly brightly lit.
How did you get here?
He blurted.
I mean, how did I get here?
So, she said kindly,
it's almost all over.
And suddenly he realised that he felt not 23, but 63 years old.
You've won,
he admitted.
I'm no longer sure who I am.
You've won,
Mavis contradicted.
You've gone through ego loss, and now you're beginning to discover who you really are.
He examined his hands. Old man's, wrinkled, Goodman's hands.
There are two forms of ego loss,
Mavis went on.
and the Illuminati are masters of both. One is schizophrenia, the other is illumination. They set you on the first track, and we switched you to the other. You had a time bomb in your head, but we defused it.
Malik's apartment, the Playboy Club, the submarine, and all the other past lives and lost years.
By God,
Saul Goodman cried.
I got it. I am Saul Goodman, but I am all the other people too.
And all time is this time.
Bastards, the Illuminati are trying to get gold to further their conspiracies by looting an Atlantean temple. And Hagbard is going to foil them by robbing it first. Because I fight the Illuminati every chance I get. Will you join us? Uncertainty is the name of the game.
Murray Gell-Mann, Nobel Prize winner, got his 3-quark model out of Finnegan's Wake. The 3 quarks are 3 major characters in Finnegan's Wake. The 2 twins who are opposites, and the third who is both twins combined and still a third independent character. And to understand what's like that, 2 twins who are opposites and the third who combines both of them, you gotta think in a Taoist way. Like the joke, how many Zen masters does it take to change a light bulb? 2, 1 to change it and 1 not to change it. Well, that's the logic of the Shem, Ham, Japheth relationship in Finnegan's Wake, which is also the Bacon, Shakespeare, Raleigh relationship, and the Tom, Dick, and Harry, and many other types of trilogies in the human mind, including the Holy Trinity, and Dogfather, Dogson, and Co., which sounds like an English company name, but it's actually Charles Dodgson, Lewis Carroll. The 2 twins who are opposites, Dodgson, the logician, and Lewis Carroll, the fantasist, were united in the one body of us. A certain man who was Dodgson part of the time and Carroll part of the time, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He wrote treatises on the pure mathematical foundations of logic, and he wrote out with one part of his mind, and he wrote Alice in Wonderland with the other part. So Dogfather, Dogson, and Co. is Dodgson divided up into the 3 parts like the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and Co, the Holy Pigeon.
A monopoly on the means of communication may define a ruling elite more precisely than the celebrated Marxian formula of monopoly on the means of production. Since man extends his nervous system through channels of communication like the written word, the telephone, radio, etc., he who controls these media controls part of the nervous system of every member of society. The contents of these media become part of the contents of every individual's brain.
You are now a Legionnaire in the Legion of Dynamic Discord. this be schizophrenia? I said, with a P. Henry twist. Much better than an O. Henry twist. Make the most of it. I looked deeper.